Welcome to all, and today's session will be regarding the building your career in the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. So, welcome to all, and my name is Himanshu Nirban, and I'll be representing you a few things about counterclock technologies, like what is counterclock technologies and how we got into our existence, and how many courses we are offering today in today's educational scenario, and to how far we have like trained to how many students in across the globe. So let me just brief you about our company. So we are based out in Jaipur, Rajasthan, and since 2019, we have been following a career path just to train all the working professionals and individual students or the corporate training employees in their like building their career in the field of in terms of information technology and affiliated roles. So as we just move on, so in today's slide, we'll be just presenting you about like what is counterclock technologies and how our global affiliation and partnership works. What is our mission and vision, our core expertise, our corporate training impact, and training delivery model, and our industry footprint. How like providing our training session programs to our different corporate clients as well as the individual student batches. For today's class, it's you're welcome you all. So in today's class, we'll be teaching you like what is the necessity of artificial intelligence in today's life, and how artificial intelligence is working right now with the help of machine learning. So today's masterclass is designed to give you a complete overview of artificial intelligence and machine learning, like what kind of skills you are needing, what career opportunities exist, and how our certified AI engineering programs can guide you your step to step into this growing field. So I would request that please be on mute. Yeah. So for today's masterclass is all about the artificial intelligence. So about our trainer, he is Mr. Neeraj Kumar Khedia. So Mr. Neeraj Kumar holds about 17 years of experience in providing as an AI consultant and solution architect, and as a trainer. He's having expertise in the generative AI, in the learning LLM as modules, and AI agent, cloud native AI, DevOps, specializing in agentic AI architectures and autonomous multi-agent system. So Mr. Neeraj has overall got 17 years of experience, and he's a Microsoft certified trainer. And he has worked across the globe, like providing his services in United States, Canada, and in South Africa, in India, and in France, and in Britain. And currently he's residing in Jaipur, Rajasthan. And from here he's like delivering the global training programs to our corporate clients across the globe, and to all our students that has been training on different batches that are ongoing right now. So Mr. Neeraj is having skills on LangChain, LangGraph, Crew AI, AutoGen, with his proven expertise in RAG systems and cloud-based AI deployment, such as like in Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. He's a certified AI and cloud trainer in AZ305, AZ400, AWS SA Pro, GCP Architect, CKA, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. He has delivered although 500 plus training sessions to our global client partners, and he serves as a lead SME for SME means the subject matter expert for generative AI and data engineering. The top IT firms including Hexaware, TCS, Wipro, IBM, and a variety of companies. So let me just brief about our CounterClock technologies. So CounterClock technology was founded in the year 2019 with an aim just to train and skill the working professionals across the globe, because skill development is a basic necessity in today's world. And whenever like you all are like going into the after completing your graduation or the post graduation programs, then after completing your graduation, you're going for the placements. And nowadays since AI has arrived into the market, a lot of people are losing their jobs because they are not skilled into specific technologies that are related to the AI, such as like data science, cybersecurity in AI, then data analytics, then Python. I mean, although like AI has taken over all the training market as of right now. So like we are the skill building company that is based out in Jaipur, Rajasthan, and we are just providing our support services across the globe. So we are the certified training partners with Microsoft, Google, and we have been authorized by Government of India as their authorized training partner under National Skill Development Corporation. So how CounterClock technologies work? So like our mission is to empower professionals and students with future ready skills in the 14 industries such as like technology and innovation, manufacturing industry, about healthcare segment, and education and training, business and management, finance and banking, hospitality and tourism, agriculture and rural development, telecommunications, health and safety, renewable energy. Renewable energy means the wind energy and the electrical energy that is ongoing right now, like creative industries such as in graphic designing, in video editing, and the retail and customer services and transportation and logistics. Logistics means the supply chains part. So overall, we have like trained 50,000 plus professionals across India and abroad in the field of like Python, data science, machine learning, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, DevOps, SAP, AWS, cloud architecture, Tableau, Power BI, and so on. So our aim is to just to train at least 1 million professionals across the globe by 2030, so that there is no shortage of skilled professionals, and all the professionals should get at least a good pay scale in their respective industries. So as you can see into the photograph, this is our training sessions that we have taken so far with our college client, with our universities, with our corporate clients. And on the right side, this is our regional office in Jaipur, Rajasthan, where a lot of students just get trained every year in their respective batches, in the offline batches. So we offer both kind of services, that is the online training programs and the offline virtual training sessions. So basically, we have trainers across the globe, and we have more than 1,000 plus certified trainers, those who are already working in the respective industries. Okay, so I'll just brief you about our with which our trainers are working right now. So what is our mission? So our mission is like vision is just to create a skilled workforce ready for the future of the technology, innovation, and leadership. And our mission is to design and deliver industry aligned programs that transform individuals into certified professionals, innovators, and leaders. Why I'm telling you innovators and leaders? Because we already have uh, uh, supported more than 30 plus different startups across the globe, in like in mentoring them, and all of their founders have already been certified from our professional skill development courses. So our core expertise is in providing in training programs consists of like in ServiceNow, APN developer, Linux administration, AEM developer, UI UX developer, Java, .NET, SDFC, DevOps, Snowflake, Big Data and Hadoop, Informatica, and the list goes on till different technologies. So we are like offering our training programs in more than 70 different technologies across the globe. So you can just have a look at all these technologies, including like Oracle Fusion, if it is about Dell Boomi, if it is about SAP, if it is about CyberArk, if it is Jira Admin or Power BI or QA automation or full stack development, or it is about healthcare and finance in terms of business analyst or scrum master program or the talent developer. So we are already providing a lot of subjects and training programs in different varieties. So although like this is about 300 courses we are offering, so when it comes to the corporate training excellence, like what is the corporate training excellence? Corporate training excellence means we are providing our training services to the corporate companies. Whenever you are like into your universities or in your colleges, okay, and whenever there is a placement drive being organized by your training and placement departments in your respective colleges or the universities. So generally, these all are the world leading companies are coming in for your global placement programs. So what is the thing is that there are two scenarios. One is like a skilled person, like you all will be taking our courses and you'll be getting skills. Sometimes people who are not skilled, then the companies are hiring them and they are providing the training programs to them. So we are providing our trainer support services in Tata Consultancy Services, like in IBM, Accenture, Capgemini, Hewlett Packard, PwC, that is PricewaterhouseCoopers, CGI, Shri Ranjali Insurance, Yamaha Motors, Honda Cars India Limited, Intel Software Solutions, Barclays Bank, and the list goes on so on. So, like we are providing us technology training programs in Fortune 500 companies across the globe. So, and our training support programs comes with support into 18 different languages. That comes with English, Hindi, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, French, Mandarin, Japanese. So these kind of various local languages support programs we are also offering to our global clients. So this is our expert trainer network. As you can see that we already have 1000 plus certified and industry experienced trainers working with us. So our trainers come from the MNC background mostly, like from the companies like Microsoft, if it is about Amazon, if it's about Meta. So all the working professionals who are like having a great expertise in their professional career, and all these are trainers and the training partners. They carry about 10 plus years of experience in their respective fields, and all of them are like working in Infosys, Wipro, Cisco, Intel, JP Morgan, HSBC, Barclays Bank, Siemens, PepsiCo, General Electric, in Dell, or in the HP. So our focus on the training programs are on practical case studies and industry ready projects. So you should note that all these programs are delivered, including the upskilling workshops like the one that you are having right now, the upskilling workshop, and the leadership training and the certification courses. So thank you very much for joining. And if you have any kind of doubts, then you can just connect with us on the number that is mentioned here, and you can just visit our website as well. That is www.counterclocktechnologies.com, and you can just follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, on our YouTube account, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you very much. And I'm just handing over the mic to Mr. Neeraj, so just to start, so that he can just start the training session for today. Thank you all for joining, and once again, welcome to this particular session. Overall, to you,
Thank you,
Neeraj.
Marshall. And hi, everyone. Good evening. So please do give me a quick confirmation if you all are able to hear me loud and clear. Great. Thank you for confirming. So, as Marshall said, here we are going to look at the foundations of the artificial intelligence, machine learning, how they are all structured, and then followed by a small hands-on as a part of the reference. So here we'll be looking to understand what exactly AI ML is and different types. We'll be looking at the types of machine learning, the real world applications of AI ML, and what are the challenges, especially in terms of the ethical AI domain, and what exactly we mean by responsible AI. Because these things are important for anyone to understand who is looking to scale their knowledge. Now, in simple layman terms, this is not a new term. AI has been there for almost more than 40 years now. First, it was coined back in 1980s by a gentleman called as McCarthy, and since then it has been widely used in different domains, in different contexts, and in different scenarios. So here we are going to look at how exactly the artificial intelligence has been structured. We are not going to dive deeper into any module because that's not the objective of today's session. So here we'll be looking at how these components are defined and in which context we are going to use those. So that's what we are going to be focused on. Just give me a moment. Yeah. Now, as we know, artificial intelligence is all about, okay, there's no one smarter than a human brain. That's a fact. It's just that we humans, we are limited with the motor abilities that we have here. So we cannot go ahead and process the information with the same pace as normally what a machine could. And that's why we refer these machines as smarter than humans, but in a way, they're not smarter, but again, they are simply much more capable to handle a humongous amount of data and that too at a really fast pace than what a normal human can. That's the idea behind using this. And if you talk about just a second, yeah. And now if you talk about the different, we can say types, again, it has been used widely across different domains and verticals since its inception. Earlier, it was more focused on getting things done. For example, earlier it was more focused on a reactive based setup. That means there was a complete algorithm, a flow that was assigned. Okay, if this happens, then do that. If that happens, then do that, and so on. So now it has been changed. Now machines have been given the capability to understand the situation and respond accordingly. Now, as you know, it has been on a tremendous growth because 82% of job growth are going to happen in by 2030. Because again, if you talk about the IT in back 2000s, where the internet was just taking off, that's where we are with AI right now. So new job titles, they are emerging faster. And if you talk about the bigger story, for example, suppose the main frontline setup. So here we are talking about what kind of, we can say different use cases. That means there is not a single industry vertical which is untouched by the AI/ML. All the industry verticals, it doesn't matter. We are talking about healthcare, pharmaceutical, aviation, or the education domain here, the government sectors. So everything has been completely automated. What used to take, let's say, almost an hour of processing or even a full-fledged setup now is being done in just few minutes and not just completed in just few seconds or minutes, but we are able to get the best possible insight out of it. And AI is not there just to follow the instructions. It improves with experience. It learns from mistakes, refines its logic, and starts making some better predictions so that we can use it for complete automation. Now, there are something like different types that we have to be familiar with. The first type is going to be the different levels. So here we have different levels in terms of narrow AI that we refer as the narrow intelligence. Then we have general AI, and then we have strong AI, like a super intelligence. So right now we are in the domain of narrow AI. We have not yet achieved general AI, and so strong AI is more like a future. It's completely hypothetical, not achieved. So Naruvai is like the coworker who's absolutely brilliant at a single thing, but is not going to. But again, we don't ask them to do anything else. For example, if we talk about Siri or Alexa, they can understand the voice commands and that we can set the reminders in a flawless manner. Or chess engines that can be the world champions, but they cannot play a game of tic-tac-toe unless they are retrained. Or Netflix-based recommendation systems which are amazing at predicting what you'll watch next, but completely useless in because in writing the movie itself. So narrative AI is more like a task-specific intelligence. It excels at what it is trained for, and it just outperforms the humans in that narrow domain. So every time we are going to train a machine learning model to detect the spam emails or analyze the images or recommend the products, we are working with narrow AI. Then we have something called as a general AI setup. So when you talk about general AI, so here we're talking about something or system that is more robust, it's more wide in terms of a use case. So for example, this is where the machine can understand, learn, and apply the knowledge across multiple domains. Let's say if it learns to play chess, it can also transfer that learning to play checkers. Or maybe it can even solve a new kind of puzzle that it has never seen before. So this general intelligence means computers, they can reason, they can adapt, they can learn everything, not because they are programmed to, but again, they want to. So we are not there yet. It is still in just the theory, in the theory part here. Because all these systems, they are brilliant mimics. They are not conscious thinkers. So AGI is more like a aspiration, the goal that many engineers they are trying to achieve. And then we have strong AI. It's a super intelligence, just like we have seen in movies, like we have Skynet in Terminator series. So if you imagine an AI that writes better code than developers, compose these symphonies that people love, we can say, love to hear, and designs the next generation of AI systems faster than any human can comprehend. That's a strong AI, and right now it is all theoretical. So some see it as a humanity greatest hope, and some see it as a biggest risk, where machines can make decisions where we can no longer fully understand or control. So narrow AI is more like solving one problem brilliantly. General AI is like thinking and learning like a human. We are not there yet. And strong AI is like becoming more intelligent than any human being. That is completely hypothetical. So that's the main idea behind using these all different types or gets the levels of AI in general. So are we okay on these all parts? Please give me a quick information, everyone. Cosmos, Tasham, Jeet, Pujashri, Pratap, Prem, Sakti, TC. If you've got any questions, do let me know because that's the main motive of this entire session to make it as interactive as possible. All right. If you don't have any questions, let's move on. So here we have machine learning and how exactly it relates to AI. So machine, no, without training someone, the system or even the person cannot do anything. How do we learn to speak? Because we have been trained. How do we learn to solve mathematical problems? Because we have been trained on that. So when you teach a child what a cat is, we don't have to write down a rule book. We show pictures, we dozens of cats, different colors, shapes, and sizes, and over time, the child recognizes the patterns, pointy ears, whisker tails, and they can spot a cat even in cartoon or a sculpture. That's exactly how machine learning works. So instead of programming the explicit instructions like, okay, if object equals cat, then print me out. So we feed data, thousands of label images, and that too to an algorithm that learns the patterns automatically. So machine learning is a reason your phone camera knows how to focus on faces, why your email app filters out the spam, and why your bank flags a suspicious transactions faster than you can say fraud alert. And then if you talk about the relationship between the AI and the ML, so here we focus on, let's say, a bigger vision. So machines, they can reason, they can plan, they can make decisions, and machine learning is one of the most core method that is going to help the AI get smarter over time. So we can think of AI as the self-driving car. It's a fuel system that is going to make decisions, drives, and it is going to react. And machine learning is the engine under the hood. So without ML, AI would still be stuck in the rule-based era. It is going to be predictable, rigid, and unscalable. So with ML, AI becomes adaptive. Everything it can simply start learning, it can refine itself, and can improve the performance without a developer rewriting the single line of your logic. And if you talk about a simple practical example, so there are many. So let's say we have the email spam filter in the easiest one. So it's a brilliant ML system that we use daily. So when we got a first email account, that spam folder was pretty hit or miss. But over time, it learned from the clicks, from reports, from the reading patterns. So each time we hit mark as spam, we're not just training our inbox. We are training a model that sits on millions of servers, getting smarter across billions of users. So it studies the patterns in subject lines, sender history, and even the subtle phrasing differences. So no one programmed it to block, okay, you have one of free cruise. The system learned that the emails like that often lead to phishing. That's the ML. And then we have the magic loop of the learning. So we feed data into the systems, and then the system, that means the algorithm can detect the relationships, what features define what, and then based on that, they can make a prediction, and then we get a final feedback. It checks how well it did and simply adjusts itself. So that's the idea behind using the machine learning. So are you clear on this part as well? Please give me a quick information, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you for confirming. All right, so next part is where we are going to talk about the types of machine learning. Now, if you talk about machine types of machine learning, so they are these different types available. We have supervised, unsupervised, and then we have reinforcement learning. So supervised is where it's like learning with a mentor. So if you am onboarding, let's say a new developer, so we sit beside them, we explain the code base, we review their pull request, and we give feedback. Okay, this is correct, and this is not correct. This is going to break the logic. So that's a supervised learning. We teach with examples and feedback. So machine is given a labeled data. For example, let's say spam email or not spam email. Cat, no cat. Or let's say flower or and stone. So it has already a label for every input data and it already knows the correct output. So its goal is to learn the mapping between the two, the label and the data. And when it sees something new, it can make the right prediction. For example, we have the image classification, so where a model can learn to recognize the cats and dogs because it has been trained on thousands of labeled photos. If we talk about the medical diagnosis, we can feed it with patient data labeled with diseases, and it can start identifying the illness patterns. In terms of the price prediction models, given historical data like area, location, size, it can learn how to price the houses. And with the label audio transcripts, it can learn to map the sounds to words. So we can think of supervised learning like having a mentor. The data is to provide the answers upfront, and the model's job is to imitate the mentor until it can work independently. And unsupervised learning is more like the explorer. So there's no guidance, no labels, it's just the raw data chaos. That's the unsupervised learning. So in this approach, the system has no predefined labels. It has to find the patterns, the clusters, and structures on its own. So it's like exploring an unknown city without a map. But we notice, okay, this area feels residential, or these streets look like the business district, and so on. So whenever we are doing the customer segmentation, for example, when we are grouping the customers based on their behavior without knowing the categories in advance, or in terms of anomaly detection, where we can identify the fraud or system failures by spotting some weird patterns in data, or we are discovering which products are often bought together, like milk and cereal. So it's there where we are going to simplify some massive data sets to visualize the relationships between them. That's all a part of unsupervised learning. And then the third part is reinforcement learning. So it's the same way a human learns to ride a bike or play chess. So we try something, we get feedback, it can be a reward, it can be a penalty, and then we can adjust the behavior. And the machine, which is called an agent, is going to interact with its environment, it is going to take actions, and it is going to learn from the results. So, for example, a game playing AI like the AlphaGo, it can be played by millions of games against itself, and they can learn the strategies that was never seen before by any human. Or even the robotics. For example, a robotic arm learns to grasp some fragile objects without breaking them through the trial and error. Or the same autonomous navigation. Like we have all these self-driving cars, they can learn to balance their safety, speed, and efficiency by constantly adjusting to new scenarios. So there are no fixed labels, no explicit training sets. It's just the curiosity, rewards, and the endless experimentation offered there. So these are three different core types of machine learning. So are we all clear on this part? Please give me a quick information.
Sir, what if we talk about agentic AI automations and Gen AI automations, and what kind of machine learning will it be included?
It can start, let's say, as a unsupervised, and then that will be a part of reinforcement learning because there will be guiding the system to make a decision on its own. So I would say it will be a combination of unsupervised and reinforcement both. more inclined towards the reinforcement part.
Can you please elaborate it?
Sorry, please repeat.
Sir, can you please elaborate it for, some lines that I can understand it more clearly? Hello. Sir, can you please elaborate it once again?
These three parts are about the agentic AI.
So agentic AI and Gen AI thing which I asked.
See,
Well,
agentic
I
AI
would
is,
ask, I would ask all of one. We will keep the question answers around in the last 30 or 15, 20 minutes. Let's go on with the current training.
Okay, sir. Will we get this PDF which is being taught? Hello.
We'll just discuss it later on. Okay. Let's get continue with the section first.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
sure. All right, so yep, and there are multiple real world applications like we had talked about. So here we are going to have for, let's say, some real world applications of AI/ML, starting with the healthcare setup. Since we talk about healthcare, it has been widely used because machine learning algorithms, they now recommend some personalized treatments based on your genetics or your medical history. They optimize the recovery plans far beyond what a manual checklist could do. So AI systems like we have Google DeepMind, they detect the diabetic, we can say some diseases earlier than most specialists, and this potentially saving vision for millions. How we can think of the predictive health, like variables using ML to flag their irregular heartbeat or heart rhythms before you feel the symptoms. In terms of the financial intelligence, so they have multiple use cases. For example, every time a credit card company blocks a suspicious transactions within milliseconds, that's a ML-driven fraud detection network. So these systems again continuously learn from billions of transactions. So the good, the bad, and the shady. So they are all going to flag the outliers faster than any analyst ever could. Same thing goes with the autonomous vehicles. So here, all the cameras, radars, the LiDAR sensors, so they constantly feed the data into models that perceive the surroundings, detect the pedestrians, and they make split-second driving decisions all in real time. And each car is like a moving lab. They continuously learn from millions of miles of data set. Same thing goes with the social media intelligence. So here we talk about, let's say, which posts you see, which ads appear, which trends go viral. So that For You page feels like it knows you better than your friends. So I believe you must have realized this if you start having a conversation with someone on Instagram. After a few minutes, let's say it can be hours, it can be even a day, all the your feeds are going to mostly align with each other. For example, you start conversing with someone, then whatever recommendations, whatever new feeds, new reels you're going to get, so that may be similar to what the other person is also looking at because it even reads every single line, every single character you type in conversations. That's why down the line, your feeds will simply start feeling the same, that you both are running the same account altogether. So there's nothing as privacy because everything is being used for optimizing the entire algorithm to adjust accordingly. So that is driving the social media intelligence here. And again, there are endless number of examples like we have already discussed. So here it is used in the virtual assistants that we use on a daily basis. In last couple of years, last year itself, Gemini has been really on a rise. So every time we speak, the assistant is going to break your sentence into tokens, understand the context, retrieve the relevant information, and it simply speaks back, all in under a second. It's conversational, adaptive, and deeply personal. So it's fascinating. These assistants, they learn your habits. They notice when you usually set the alarms, what routes you prefer, what music you play during the workouts, and over time, they stop being just a software. They start acting like a digital companion. And then we do have the recommendation systems. So here, so we don't get this just by luck. AI looks at your viewing history, it compares it with millions of users like us, and then based on that, it predicts what you will enjoy next. And then, same thing for the facial recognition that we use on a daily basis. So the camera captures a 3D map of your face. It does not compare just a photo, it simply understands the structure of your face using the deep neural networks. So every blink, every angle, every tiny movement adds the robustness of the system. So there are endless number of use cases for smart homes, for email, maps, the daily applications that we use on a continuous basis. And these also give birth to multiple challenges in terms of the ethical considerations. So if you talk about ethical considerations, so imagine this, let's say you apply for a loan, but the system denies it. You are qualified, your income checks out, but the AI model says no. Why? Because the data it was trained on had historical biasness. It learned the patterns from a world that was not fair to begin with. So AI does not invent the prejudice, it inherits it. So the data reflects the inequality, the model is going to amplify it. For example, the AI recruiting system once began rejecting the resumes with the word women. So simply because the historical data showed that few women were in the tech roles. And that's where the world learned biasness is not just a technical glitch, it's a societal mirror. So if we are going to we can say train it on data which has, let's say, more inclination towards one single gender or you'd say any background, so it is going to relate that to an actual, we can say, condition or a natural parameter. That means again, something or someone coming from this is going to more likely do this or do that and so on because of the data it has been trained on. Then we also have the concerns around the privacy. Like we had just discussed on the biasness, so we also have the concern around the privacy, how we are going to protect the data. So that's what we are going to do. Just a second. All right. And then we have transparency and the explainability. So basically, when AI system denies a medical claim, it recommends maybe recommending, let's say, a parole rescission or flagging a transaction as fraudulent. We need to know why. And often we cannot because that's a black box problem. So AI systems, they like the deep neural networks. They are great at pattern recognition, but not at the explanation themselves. So in healthcare, explainable AI frameworks, they are now being used to visually show which parts of the image led to a diagnosis, giving doctors visibility into the machine's thought process. They are not going to just trust it blindly. And then we have the last part for economic disruption. So when people say AI automates routine work, that sounds efficient until we realize those routines are people's livelihood. So just as the internet created the digital marketers and the app developers, AI is birthing new roles: prompt engineers, AI ethicists, data bias auditors, moral explanatory experts. So the challenge is bridging that transition in a more responsible manner. And then we have ethical AI, it's more like using technology with the conscience. So AI gave us wings, but again, ethics remind us to check the wind before we fly. And the goal is not to show the innovation, simply to make sure that it moves forward in a more responsible manner with all the transparency, fairness, and the human oversight at every single step. That has to be included. So are we okay on these all parts? Please give me a quick information, everyone. Great. Thank you for informing. And these are the 7 C's framework. First of all, it starts with the competence. So competence means we are understanding the AI strength and its limits. We are not going to use a chatbot model to make a legal judgment or a facial recognition system to measure someone's emotions. So, as professionals, our responsibility is to ensure that we know the boundaries when AI is the right solution and when a simple rule system might be a safer and more transparent. Then it comes down to confidentiality. So, every data set and carries real lives, names, locations, conversations, health records. Protecting it is not a good practice, it's simply non-negotiable. So you can think of a hospital using patient data to train a diagnostic model. If that data set is leaked, it's not just a breach, it's a violation of trust, identity, and dignity. So we have to encrypt it, we have to anonymize it, we have to hide the personal information from the given data set. And then it comes down to consent. So AI learns from people, so people deserve a say in how the data is going to be used. So this is not just about a 20-page terms and conditions nobody reads. It's about the ethical clarity. Do you allow this AI to learn from your actions or not? And then we have the confirmation. So before deploying the AI that approves the loans or medical treatments, we have to confirm its output through the human review. Because again, we cannot let everything run on the copilot. And then there are going to be conflicts. So there can be conflict of interest when short-term, you can say, based on the short-term incentives, like for example, faster release to or higher ad management. So, like for example, social media algorithms, they can maximize the screen time. They can also amplify the polarization because outrage drives the engagement here. And then we have the last C here in terms of candor. So if we ever chatted with an online agent and it realized it wasn't human, so users they have to the right to know when they are interacting with the AI system and when they are interacting with a natural human. So some countries they now require businesses to disclose the AI generated content in customer communication. It's a small gesture, but it signals the transparency and earning the user confidence. So that's why we refer these all as the different C's of responsible AI. It's not about slowing against showing some innovations. And again, we have to adhere to all the compliances based on the country. If the data needs to be, if data can be moved to any other location, and so on. So those things are going to be, we can say, should be taken care of. All right. So now we'll be looking at one of the small implementation as a part of the setup. Let me reshare my screen. All right, so here we'll be looking at the implementation of a simple multi-agent workflow. So here we'll be looking at how we can how we can split the entire work into multiple agent parts. So these are the hands-on live that will be getting the access to. So here we'll be creating something like what we call as a research agent, where we'll be having the responsibility of searching and gathering information. Then we'll be having a second agent build. The job of that agent will be to simply do a fact check. The third agent will be working on writing or can say compiling everything into a report. And the last one will be a part of the coordinator agent, where we'll be managing the entire workflow accordingly. So this multi-agent setup is going to give you a quick understanding of how these things can be achieved as a part of we can say real world applications. So that's what we are going to look at. Now, for making sure we are able to complete this workflow in the best way possible, so in the easiest way possible, so here we are going to make use of Colab along with the OpenAI key. So Colab is an independent, we can say, notebook editor where we can add the actual code execution done. So we'll be taking this up. Now, we do have multiple runtimes available. We have the CPU and GPU based runtime both available that we can go ahead and make use of. So for the heavy intensive tasks, that's why we can make use of the GPU base, or the CPU base is also going to be enough. And for this demo, we are going to make use of the OpenAI key as a part of the main agent. So if you do have the developer account on OpenAI, then we'll be able to go ahead and use it directly as a reference. So here we will be using that. So we have been logged out. So here, just like every other provider has the developer account, so same way here we can have the access to a developer account in OpenAI. We can get from where we can get the access to a key. So here we can go for the paid account. We can get the access to a key, and from that key, we can go and develop the agents. We can use a key for getting the request and send to multiple SDKs. So for example, here we are going to make use of a key. So here we can define this suppose as a new key, which is going to be available as a part of our OpenAI implementation. And this key value will be visible only once. So we can copy and save this locally, let's say someplace safe, and then we can go ahead and use it. So when we are going to use a key, so here we are going to use a key either directly by entering that in the main notebook, or we can go ahead and have it saved like a key editor here. So for example, if you want to use a key, then we can enter the value here, and then we can control how the key is going to be used. For example, here we can define OpenAI as a key, and there we can enter the value. So this key will be used accordingly. So we can go ahead and use it. So for example, if we want to allow this without hard coding the key value, then we can use it as a part of a key setup. And now here we can start by first of all installing the required libraries. So we're not going to type in the code here to save the time. So here we are going to install a specific version of OpenAI that is generally available, including the .env in case that is going to be needed. So .env is basically a package through which we can go ahead and get the local environment variables. So that way we'll be able to use that. So if we are going to use, suppose if you're going to save the variables manually, then we can define that. Code name, it's a code editor, it's a Colab. In case you're asking, it's a Colab. I'll just share the link of this in the chat window, so you'll be able to use, or you can say access this notebook directly. I missed out, it's a single A, not multiple. It's colab.google.com. So you can see these all libraries have been installed successfully. And now if you want to make use of a key for working with this, so here we can go ahead and import the packages, and then we can either ask the key as a part of the input, or we can go ahead and ask and have it configured as a part of the environment variable. So for example, here we have already saved the key as a part of OpenAI, and then here we have defined API key. So let's do one thing. So here we define OpenAI. All is to one thing, simply define as an OpenAI key itself. Let's change the variable name so we can go ahead and use it. So this is going to check, if you want, we can enter the key directly here, or it's going to check the OpenAI key from the variable. That means a key file that we have already configured. If it is able to find the key that we have specified, then we'll be able to use it directly with the current project here. Just a second. All right, so down here, we can even go ahead and enter the key manually. So we have the option of both. Suppose if the user doesn't want to enter the or use a key from the local variable that we define, then we can even allow the users to enter the key. And once the key is going to be entered, the user will be able to start working on it directly. So first thing first, have you all clear on how to get the access to these keys? Please give me a quick information, everyone. And once the key has been configured, so we can go ahead and use it. So please repeat the setup, Shojit. So we have installed the OpenAI library, and here we can choose to have the OpenAI key configured from the secret, or we can allow the key to be entered as a part of the input. So for example, here we want to make sure the key is never hard coded. So we are taking that as an input by using get pass library. And then we are trying to enter the key, and then we are checking if the API key has been accepted, then it will say the API key has been configured successfully, else it will be generating an error. And this API key is what we can generate from the OpenAI library. So if you don't have the access to it, if your team is having the access to it, then you can go ahead and ask the questions accordingly. Okay. Clear on the sheet? Please confirm. Great. Thank you for confirming. Like each agent as a part of the code here. So we're having a coordinator agent. So the coordinator agent is more like the project manager for the other prompts. So it will be responsible for breaking the big task into smaller subtasks, assigning each and every subtask to a specific agent and keeping a track of progress and ensuring the completion. And the coordinator has to return results in a JSON format. And then we are going to have a second agent that is going to be for researcher. So here it will be used for searching the detailed and relevant data. It will be able to summarize the findings with the key points and citations, and will be able to present the information clearly, and that too in different sections in terms of how they have to be structured. So they are going to be organized text into clear sections and the bullet points. And then we are going to have the third agent, which is going to be a fact checker agent, because again, without checking the facts, it would be completely useless. So there we can verify the claims and statistics, flag the misinformation or any outdated information, and assess the confidence levels. And then we can have one writer agent. So there we can combine all the findings into a coherent report, write in a professional and readable style, and include the executive summary, main findings, analysis, and the conclusions. And then we can have the final print statement where all the agent confirmations are going to be defined. So here we are supplying the prompt. That means we are simply training the model that we are going to use from OpenAI. Okay, for example, what is the responsibility for coordinate agent? So here we are specifying the prompt only. Break down these research tasks into clear subtasks, assign the task. So as a agent, as a prompt engineer, we have to decide what kind of work will be done by which agent and how they have to be trained. That we had to decide, and that's what we are doing here. Okay, G? Okay, now? So I'll do one thing. I'll just share the lab document with you all. So you can go through that as a reference and just try to understand how all the structures have been defined. And then we can resume in few minutes once you're done with that. I'm also sharing the same with you, Himanshu, so you can also guide others as well. And then we'll be taking forward, okay? So we'll be taking a small break, everyone, and then post a break. Himanshu will be taking this forward. Thank you.
Neeraj, for your time. Yes. And I'll be just taking the things forward from here. Neeraj will be on a short break. So, is there any questions with all the participants as of now? You may just raise your hand and I'll be able to reply you back. Yes. So is there any questions with you, Jeet? Pooja? Pratna? Sakshi? So, okay. Okay. Just. So you'll be just seeing my screen for the further part. So let me just take the things forward from here. Hope my screen is visible to all. Okay. So I would be taking the things forward from here. So let me just brief about the current scenario. Why artificial intelligence and machine learning is the future right now in the upcoming industry. So as you all know that there have been massive job cuts from different vertical companies across the globe. As you can just take an example, like for example, UPS, which is the world's leading uh, courier delivering company. And they had a job cut of approximate 48,000 people. And this is the ongoing scenario right now in the tech industry where millions of people are losing their jobs. So it is like something like Meta has made a job cut of 25,000 employees. Then we come to Intel, where 24,000 of employees have been into a job cut scenario, where Nestle has fired about 16,000 employees. And the recent one, it was the Amazon, who had laid off about 14,000 employees. So as such, like PNG have fired 7,000 employees. Then it comes to Salesforce, it has laid off about 4,000 employees, and the list goes on so on. Like in the Accenture last year, they had laid off about 11,000 employees. So why this layoff is going on right now? So the layoff is going on right now because the companies are moving into the automation part and from their manual workforce. So like for example, if a company is there, like example in the Amazon is moving their work from their from their manual part to the automation part, like from booking their parcels to the delivery part. All of them are going to have this work from the with the help of artificial intelligence. So if a person is not having the artificial intelligence degree into their own hands, then there will be a job cut for them because the company is not going to pay the particular salary. Either you upskill with the latest technologies, or they'll show you a way outward. So the since AI is not a revolution, it's the upcoming future for all of us. Okay, because these most of the organizations right now, like 72% organizations are using AI. So the companies worldwide like leverage AI to improve their business functions and drive competitive advantages in 2025. And there is approximate to be a job growth for all the people who are like versatile in the respective artificial intelligence field. Then there will be a job growth till 2030 by the 82%. Means AI roles are among the fastest growing positions globally right now, and with explosive demand across all sectors, into including the manufacturing, into the IT sector, if it is about logistics, if it is about the transportation, if it's about airways or the railways. So everyone is moving to, or it is the transportation industry. Everyone is moving from their normal part to the AI part, and the average machine learning engineer salary is going to be dollar 20 200 1,000. So the top ML engineers will be earning between 170 and 100 $127,000 till $200,000 annually in the US, reflecting the high value of these skills. So if you are already a AI certified engineer, then companies will be eager to hire you out. Okay, so this isn't a future about job security. It's about like the forefront of technology that will decline the next century. So the compensation reflected in the critical importance of these roles. So like where the senior positions will be commanding by premium salaries as the companies compete for the global talent. So, like, what are the AI and machine learning? So, let me just tell you that artificial intelligence represents the broader concept of machine simulating human intelligence. Okay, where a human intelligence fails, from that place the AI starts. Okay, so these systems can learn from the experience, the reason through the complex problems. Okay, like for example, let me just tell you a recent example that. In the government exams these days, the government bodies are using the AIs for the face simulation. Means they are using this face simulation methods just to track all those people who have like already pasted their photographs in the admission form of their own, and they are like sending some dummy candidates to just to sit into their these government exams. Okay, so the AI is like making a face tracking of each and every participant that is going to into the exam hall, and they are just finding an easy target that this person has the face of the some other person in the admission letter, but the person who is sitting in the classroom is somewhat different. So this is a role of the autonomous decision that they are taking on their own, and on the base of the data and the algorithms that have been provided by the humans. Okay, so like for say like if I need to find if whosoever is using a chat GPT right now, whatever you type and within few seconds you will just get the result. So that is the kind of AI and machine algorithms being worked upon. So real world application is like visual assistants like Siri or Alexa. Okay, they understand natural language. Even if like you're using Alexa, and if I'm using Alexa and I just want to hear the news, how it works. Hey Alexa, please just play the news. So how it is like it is accepting your voice in the natural language form, and it is autonomously uh, like it is accepting the command, and it is like generating the result directly. Or you can just take an example of the autonomous vehicle navigation into the city. Like for example, Tesla has launched the driverless vehicles, where like there is no driver into the vehicle, but the vehicle is driving on their own. So they are using the autonomous vehicles navigation component just to track down the streets, and just to easily find out their own way. Okay, and also the AI system detects the fraudulent transactions in milliseconds. Fraudulent transaction means if there is some kind of cybersecurity breach, okay, into your account, and if someone is like making a fraudulent transaction using either your account or a mule account. Mule account means any of the account that has been taken by the cyber scammer from the other person. Okay, so this kind of transactions are be found into millions of bank accounts in a quick, easy way. Like within 5 to 7 seconds, anyone can trace the fraudulent activity that is going on to your bank account. On the other hand, when what is machine learning? So, like machine learning is a specialized subset of AI that is focused on the systems that automatically improves through experience. Experience means how you are using the AI that makes the machine learning on the standard part. So, like rather being explicitly programmed for every scenario, ML algorithms identify patterns in data. Means patterns in the data is like, for example, if Amazon is there and Amazon want to make a forecast, okay, of their upcoming 5 years of sales and their the previous 5 years of losses. So how they are going to identify the losses and the upcoming sales part, that how they can just increase their sales, okay, of their products. For such as like washing machine, it can be any kind of electronic appliances, can be of any kind of mobiles, okay, or any kind of product that they are selling from their platform. So what they'll be using is like they'll be using their previous data of the loss part, that whatever in one particular year from financial of 2020 till 2025, whatever the products they have launched every year, and what was the sale outcome. If like for say any of the manufacturer have manufactured about 1 million mobiles, okay, and out of 1 million mobiles only 3 lakhs have been sold out and 7 lakh has gone into the dump part, and that 7 lakh mobile phones will be getting sold out in so like let's say for example 2 lakhs in 2021, 1 lakh in 2022, then suddenly there is a rise in of 3 lakh handsets in 2023, then there is a downfall of only 50,000. So this kind of sales scenario they'll be taking up. So on that behalf, they'll be just making their forecast of their upcoming 5 years. So this is a part of the ML algorithms, that how they work, like tracing the previous data, loss data, and just checking up to the sales part, that how much expected growth they'll be taking in. So what happens like when it comes to the behavior accordingly? So like adapting the behavior, it is like, so since last 5 years, they'll be just checking the examples, okay? And so just go on a simple example, like Netflix recommendations that knows the your taste means what? See, if I'm just watching a particular movies based on the war part, I like war movies. So what I'll do is like Netflix will I am just logging into a Netflix account and I'm just searching for some war movies like so let's say any kind of war movies can be there like Expendables. You can just say for example Expendable movies there. I have just watched one or two movies based on that part. So immediately Netflix will be able to filter out that what is our taste, that like what kind of movies we would like. So it will be showing as an example to us whatever the war movies that they are having on their platform, they'll be showing to us as an example. Okay, so this is a kind of a machine learning example that you'll get. And on the other side, we can just have an example of a spam filter. How spam filters that learns to identify new threats means um, whenever we are operating our Gmail or any kind of email that we are having of any of the company, or if it is about Gmail, we just make a spam filter that whatever the emails are coming into us, like for it is about a marketing email or any kind of fraud emails by the cyber scammers, okay, or something what you feel is like there is a username, okay, like John at the rate alphadata.com. When you just search about alphadata.com, then the domain is not registered with any of the uh, domain service provider companies. Let's say like for example either it is Hostinger or either it is GoDaddy, and the web page is coming like this page is does not exist, so you can just know that that person is on a fraudulent part. So how the scenario works is like, so John at the rate data.com. So this is the example. Then you can just easily identify that the person is a fake. So whenever that kind of emails will be coming into your email account, then the spam filters will easily identify that which what are the emails are coming as spam like that, and they'll just show only the genuine emails to you. The spam part will be coming into the spam folder. Okay, so this is the kind of new things that they are identifying the new threats. Or let's say, for example, like medical imagining system is there that detect diseases without the superhuman accuracy. Like for say example, nowadays the cancer is research. Until now, cancer is a kind of disease that has been uncurable. Means doctors have said that there is no cure related to cancer if it goes for the seventh or the eighth stage. Initial stages we can just cure it, but the seventh or the eighth stage we're not able to identify. So medical imaging is a kind of format where like the data that has been stored by the doctors worldwide, so they are like able to identify the disease directly with, like you just like let's say for example we are using ChatGPT, okay, and I'm just telling that okay, hi Emma, I am having a pain into my right hand, so what is the exact result? So ChatGPT will synchronize into its data and will be able to filter out the results. Like okay, you are having right pain, so it will share some examples that either you just have pick up a huge load, okay, or what is the exact pain, where is the position in the body that is it is paining. So likely it will tell you the pros and cons of that particular disease. Okay, so this kind of examples are being set in the machine learning part. So let's discuss about the key AI career paths to consider. So what is the duty of a machine learning engineer? Okay, so the machine learning engineer designs, build and deploy the sophisticated machine learning models, okay, that solve the real world problems. Let's say for like what is the real world problem is all about. So real world problem is all about like sharing different scenarios. Okay, so different scenarios is something you can just take an example. Let's suppose just hold on. Okay, let's suppose like if we are just getting an example. like how we are going to deploy our substitute part. Okay, so if a real world scenario is about, we just get an example of deploying the vegetables part. Like if I am a buyer and I'm going to buy few vegetables, okay, and I just want need to export it to my global audience. So how, and there are a lot of vegetables, and the kind of vegetables are available in every part of India. Okay, and my clients are like requesting a lot of scenarios, and I just, let's say for example, broccoli is there, ginger is there, carrot is there. Okay, so all these kind of vegetables I just need to synchronize, and I just get multiple orders. So how will I be able to get it solved? So I'll be asking my machine learning engineer just to, okay, just to design a kind of software or a kind of application that makes a differentiation, that person is coming from France, he just needs a carrot, and the person is coming from Britain, he just needs a cauliflower, or person is coming from this part from China, he just needs a carrot. So again, carrot has two scenarios. So, and there are multiple requirements. So all these multiple requirements can be substituted into one particular part. So how this raw data consists of the numbers of the buyers, with their names, with their addresses, with their number of requirements, what is the tonnage requirement that they need, from which particular seaport they just need the product into their destination. Okay, so these kind of details can be raw data, and it can be converted into an intelligent system. Okay, just I just like my machine learning, as I am a machine learning engineer, I just made a system where I have like designed the name of a person, then a place, then the number of requirement that he has needed. So I'm just sending him a simple mail, and he is just sending me an email. So that email is a kind of raw data, and when I'm just saving it into my data, then immediately it reflects into my Excel sheet that this is a person, it has needed this number of tons of the part, and I'm just going to export it from Rajasthan, or either from Delhi, or either from Uttar Pradesh. This particular farmer is having this much of amount with him. Like 1 ton, I can just borrow from Uttar Pradesh. Okay, and the other 10 tons I just can borrow from Maharashtra. So this kind of raw data has to be converted into a machine learning intelligent system. Okay, so what is the role of a AI engineer right now? So like AI engineer develop the end-to-end AI application by integrating the algorithms, the data pipelines, and software engineering. Let's say, suppose if I am going to build up a AI platform where I am going to provide an image category solutions. Image category solutions means whatever you just type as a prompt into my database, then immediately my AI application will be working on that prompt that you have given to me, to that application, and it will be like working on the base of the algorithms that have been integrated into its software. Then that data will work, and it will see, check that is there any kind of images that have been like it has been uploaded into our system already. Okay, and it will just give us a result on that base. Like, hi, I am going to design a person walking on a scooter and saying a hi to some random person. So this is a prompt, and immediately that AI application will just create an image with a person walking on a scooter with a real-time scenario that he's just standing on a traffic light and he's saying an hi to the other person who is just sitting in a car. So this kind of real world scenarios is being created by that particular AI application. So how AI, and this is the way that how AI engineers are bridging the gap between the research and the production systems. Okay, and the third part is the deep learning specialists. So what deep learning specialists do? So they generally create advanced neural networks that mimic human brain processes. Okay, work on cutting edge applications in computer vision, natural language processing, and other part. Okay, so this is the work that they do generally. So how this systems work? Let's say, for example, we can just take an example of the deep learning part. Like, I am creating a hardware processing network. Okay, where natural networks processing is there. Like, I just want to translate a language. How a language is being translated by using Google Google Translate. So it is using the neural networks and the cutting edge applications in its computer network. Okay, like there is some person who is sitting in Poland, and he has typed some words into the Polish part, and immediately by clicking on the translate part, the word gets translated into English version. So how? So this is the use of the words, that the keywords that has been integrated into the this deep learning network already, means it has copied the Polish words and it has converted into the English words. Okay, so this is the kind of algorithm that is being worked by generative AI part. So the next part is a robotic engineer. So robotic, what is the role of a robotic engineer? Means it builds the robots that perceive, reason, and interact with the physical world autonomously. Means robotic engineers, how, like if you have just seen the movie of the Terminator series, okay, where like wherever Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to identify a person with their clothing system, okay, or whatever the intelligent being, like if I'm there, I'm just providing a command to a robot that, okay, please just come in and just take out a mop into your hand and just make some cleaning of this particular floor. So if the robot is too much smart, then it will obey my orders, okay, and if he's not, then he'll be sitting or standing idle at its position. Okay, so this is a kind of a robotics engineer work is all about. And what is the NLP expert? So NLP expert is like they are developing the language based AI systems that understands, generate, and translate human communications. Okay, so human communication in terms of, like for example, I am been telling all these things to you, and if some other expert is there, so it will simply organize my part. Okay, let's say for example, we can just take another example. Um, Google has had launched the audio part in its search platform. I just went on the Google part and say, "Hi, I just need to search for the best hospitals in my area." So, so the NLP expert has created this AI language platform that is accepting the way that you are communicating, okay, in a verbal format, and it is converting that verbal into the print part. Okay, so this kind of thing we understand to from an NLP expert. Let's come on the other part. So generally, which particular people can do all these AI courses? Okay, so there have been like any kind of bachelor degree going on right now, like people having foundations degree in computer science, data science, mathematics, statics. So they generally help the related fields provide the essential theoretical knowledge and the practical programming skills. So, and whereas there is an advanced degree that is either it's the post graduation or it's the master's or it's a PhD programs, okay, that opens the door for the research position, senior engineers roles. Like if I'm the person, I've done a BTech in mechanical engineering and I have a deep interest into developing some AI models. So what I'll do is like I can just pursue once again a bachelor's program in a computer science module. I would be needing the example of the coding part, and when I have the coding experience, then I can just directly go and take admission into a PhD program, and I'll be writing some research papers on my research, that how I can just use AI in getting that research done. Okay, let's say suppose like we can just use AI in a millions of format. I can ask AI just to let me know what are the best irrigation roles I can just create, so that it will be helpful for the farmers. Okay, just to rope their seeds, or what kind of seeds they should use to get the best crop or the crop yields. Okay, so this kind of things I can just get it done from the PhD programs. So when it comes to the professional certifications, so like CounterClock Technologies is providing this kind of professional certifications. So like industry recognized credentials like Microsoft or AI or ML engineering professional certificates that demonstrates the practical competency and the commitment to that particular field. Okay, so that is the way that you can just create your AI career, okay, in multiple pathways that leads to success. So generally, when you have a degree into your hand, then you have the credibility. Okay, and whenever you are just sitting into an interview, and if the person asks you more and more questions related to the present market scenarios, then this professional certificate program are being learned and are helpful just to reply you back, and that provides you a guarantee for the selections. Okay. So, and what is the self-direct learning? So like online, there have been online courses, there have been multiple things related to scenarios. Okay, so all these hands-on projects that will be telling you, okay, like in this particular class session only, we are just tell you about the hands-on tactic projects. Okay, so this helps you just to build your practical experience. Okay, like Coursera is there, Fast Track is there, Deep Learning AI is there. So we offer like some kind of world-class instruction accessible to anyone. Okay, so how you'll be like gaining you'll be getting this helpful projects and from doing all this in certification programs from CounterClock technologies. Okay, so like we'll be just providing you the project ideas to get started, like image classification. You'll be able to learn to build a conventional neural networks that identifies objects in photos. These are the projects that will be telling you will be learning when you are going to learn about the advanced courses for this AI and ML course. Okay, so like creating a simple photo based application that like starting with simple categories and expanding it completely, or like sentimental analysis is like create an NLP model that understands emotions in text. Okay, emotion in forms of whatever that you are typing, it is accepting that, and from that particular text, it can create a social media post immediately. Okay, like for example, if you're using ChatGPT and you're just providing that I just need to create a particular social media post where I just need to sell my product. Okay, so the rate of that product is this, and just create a model of model with a t-shirt and with a jeans, the color coding is this. This kind of text is there, so immediately ChatGPT will use all that its deep learning methods. Okay, and it will create a social media post for you. Okay, so that you can just get good customer reviews. Okay, and the third is like the recommendation system, like you'll be able to get you'll be able to learn design algorithms that predict user preferences similar to Netflix or Spotify. Like for example, I just need to listen a particular song, then how I'm going to have it. Okay, so all these things will be able to learn. Then the time series forecasting. What is the time series forecasting? It is about predicting stock prices or how weather pattern will work. Means a stock, let's say for example, currently Adani stocks are running on like for say 524 rupees, 525 rupees, or any of the 600 rupees. So how the stocks market will work in the upcoming 5 or 10 years, that kind of prediction we can just take from this time series forecasting method. Or like how a weather pattern, like currently in 2025 there were heavy rains. Okay, and this kind of forecasting we can just do from the prediction of the last 5 years weather data and the upcoming data. So this kind of data patterns we are able to study it. We can just imagine that this kind of weather, like we'll be having some severe cold or severe summer season will be having, so this kind of weather patterns we can just easily study from that. Or we can just check about the sales trend using the historical data. Sales trends means, let's say let's suppose Maruti Suzuki is there. It's a car manufacturing company. So they have launched their product Maruti 800 back in 1996, and if they want to launch that product once again with a new series, like let's say Maruti 800 electric, they are just going to launch. So how they are making a comeback depends upon their previous historical data, like how many number of vehicle does the company has sold, okay, into their market right now. So these kind of things and scenarios, they'll be using that historical data just to develop this part. So, and what is about like building professional presence. Okay, so it's about like showcasing your work on GitHub within well documented code and clear readme files. So creating a personal website or portfolio highlighting the best options that you have done, okay, so far. So the best projects on the visual demos, participating into any kind of competitions to benchmark your skills against the global community. So it sets a benchmark for your global presence. So, and on the other hand, what you'll be offering to you is like you'll be using the real data sets such as like Kaggle, UCIML, respiratory, and Google datasets to search thousands of quality data sets. Okay, you'll be just taking and we'll be able to provide you some good internships and you can just collaborate with us and you can just can become a part of the AI community which contributes to open source projects and learn from the peers. So is there any questions as of now with any of the participants? Okay, so I shall move forward. So what is the industry impact and the opportunities since the AI has come into this four particular scenarios? We are just here to provide you a scenario. So what is the healthcare revolution? So see, healthcare is a kind of thing where this is an ongoing session. Since if you just take an example of the COVID scenario, okay, when the COVID was there in 2020 and 2021, there were lakhs of deaths across the globe. Millions of people died because we didn't know the uh, cure of the disease. Okay, we were making some good experiments, like we were creating some medicines, we were creating some energy products. Okay, we were creating some um, vaccination drives we were using. So that was the kind of risk that we were taking, but the result was not coming according to our requirement. So that kind of scenario was helpful with the data. Okay, that people were using a clinical trials method, means the vaccination was getting vaccines were made and it was being used on different patients. So the data that was recovered from the that patient's health scenario, that the patient either has healed up or he or she has died. Okay, so that kind of data worked upon to getting for getting the best results of the best vaccines. So that kind of data is being used. Okay, so to forecast the upcoming disease part. So how healthcare evolution has organized, like since AI powered diagnostic systems have come into market, so they are easily detecting the disease earlier only and more accurately than the previous ever part. So like personalized medicine, tailored treatments are there to individual genetic profiles, such as like if someone is having some genetic disease and it has been ongoing from generation after generation, like such as thyroid is there, so it is coming after generation after generation. So but right now we can just easily detect the scope of thyroid and we can easily cure it, so that our upcoming generations will not be able to get it infected from that particular disease. That kind of drug discoveries available with the help of AI, you can just accelerate any kind of things. So that will is helpful from decades or months of using the ML algorithms basically. Okay, and when it comes to the financial services, how AI is helping is like, so see, some real-time fraud detection protectors are there. It is protecting like billions of transactions daily. Okay, like let's suppose if a digital arrest is like we were having these scams are on the base of digital arrest. People were coming in, they were like creating some fake codes, fake police stations, and they were like threatening random peoples by calling them, and many people lost their good and hard-earned money to these particular cyber scamsters. So how AI detect is like, if a person has make a scam, okay, so how people police will be identifying that financial fraud. So if a person, that cyber scammer has taken the amount from their particular account, like let's say it is my account only, okay, and will be able to scan the series of the account, like from one account he has transferred the amount to the other person account, then the other person is transferring that amount to the third person account. So this kind of transactions can be easily found by the fraud detection AI systems nowadays. Okay, so like where credit scoring algorithms have already been assessing the risk to fairly and accurately, like if a person is going for taking a loan and if he tells that I just need a loan. Okay, so immediately within few seconds only after just entering the name of that particular person, and if he's a fraudulent person who has taken loans from different banks and is not able to repay them and is going to some other bank with just to get a new loan. So how they'll be able to get stopped from this AI algorithm method? People or the bank employees will be typing their names, their address, their contact details, and immediately they'll be getting the result. That within few seconds, that the person is a scamster, and he's not a genuine person, and the bank will be able to stop their financial transaction. Okay, so it's a kind of automated customer support and the robot advisor demonstrate the financial services globally. How and let's like how it is impacting supply chain and logistics part. So since AI has arrived to the market, okay, optimizing the algorithms coordinately for the global supply chain with the unprecedented efficiency. And unprecedented efficiency means like see, as I told you before in the start that UPS. What is UPS? UPS is the world's number one courier service provider company. It has fired out its 48,000 employees. So the AI has taken over the job roles for these 48,000 employees worldwide. So how they are using is like they are using their autonomous data into their system. Okay, like if I'm just I'm going on to a UPS website, okay, or any kind of UPS outlet in India, and I'm just going to send my courier from India to US, and anywhere in the US, like let's say suppose New York is there, Los Angeles is there, any kind of city I'm just sending it to, or not to US or any of the particular country, and the particular package contains a weight. So some people, like there have been some creations, like if I have about 50 kgs courier, then it is not possible to send it from the flight. Okay, it is not able to be sent from the airfare. So what I will be using is I'll be making another option by taking the help of a ship service. So immediately when I'm just booking the a courier, so from the booking outlet or from the website, when I'm just filling all the details that being there into that particular form that UPS has provided to me, immediately I'll get the result. Okay, it's 50 kgs. You're not able to use this service. You are requested to please use the service from the other part. So all these services are the part of the this supply chain and logistics part. The AI using the predictive maintenance that prevents the costly equipment failures. Okay, and it can easily let me know that 50 kgs is the part that is not being able to ship from the air courier. You are requested to please book it either from the land route or from the sea route. So this kind of AI is helping the supply chain and logistics part and the emerging frontier. So since generative AI has come into the market, it has created art, music, and code. So generative AI can create anything. Like for example, if I'm going to create my own music, just type the rhythms or the song part, and AI will create its own artistic view for that. AI will create its own music, and it will create the code that will be able to create large language models for getting either a website in live. Okay, previously what we were doing is like we were taking help of the developers. Okay, like developers such as Java developers, PHP developers, HTML, WordPress developers, just to create our websites. But now it's a part of a quick session. You just write a code, write a part that I am going to create a website on ChatGPT, and from generative AI part, ChatGPT will be using and will be creating the code. Okay, so you can just use that code from in the WordPress part, and immediately a website will be created within the next 30 seconds to 1 minute for with whatever requirement that you have, and you can just create the pictures or the animations on your own. Okay, by providing the prompt to that particular ChatGPT option or any kind of the AI part. So this is how generative AI has created a emerging frontiers. So being an generative AI engineer, you can just make your career in this particular field as well. So let's move to the other. What are the challenges and the mindset of for success? Okay. So let's suppose like what is the embrace continuous learning. So how AI is evolving? See, AI has not evolved in the last 5 years or 10 years. It has been a continuous research part from last about 35 to 40 years. Whatever we as a human have learned, we have submitted that in form of data to the supercomputers or to the data centers. So AI just learns all those things from our data that we have provided to it, and it is getting a breakneck speed. So which like cutting edge today it has become a standard practice tomorrow. Like for example, uh, we were dedicating time just to create content for a book. Okay, a content writer used to write content by like thinking lines. Like if he or she has to create a one page with 500 words, he has to think. He has to think for about 5 to 10 hours. What is the particular line that will suit good into this particular content in this particular page of this particular book. Okay, but now immediately whatever you have in your mind, you can just type it on chat gpt, a kind of Google Gemini platforms, and immediately within a few seconds you'll be getting the results. Okay, like hey, I just need to write a particular post how to interact with the students, so that I'm just going to launch this particular book in this particular year. So that will come immediately will come into your mindset. Okay, like how ChatGPT is evolving from one person to the other. How it is generating that kind of post immediately, because it's a part of the data that has been stored into its domain from the years of work, the global work it has done. Okay, it is using the help of the internet, it is using the keywords, and it is creating the research papers and experimenting on the emerging tools. So it's not a burden, it's the excitement of this particular field only. And if you have the experience in this particular domain, you can just make your career as a content editor in this particular part. Okay, so what is like champion ethical AI? So like with great powers comes with great responsibility. So like consider you are a bias into a training data, and there is a transparency in decision making and the broader social impact on your work. So building AI is not just powerful, but fair and trustworthy is paramount. Let's say, for example, um, let me just give you a fair example for the same. I am just creating a dating application for people who where boys and girls can match with each other. Okay, so this is a kind of a decision making that I'm doing, but I'm into a planning mode only. So what I'll do is like I'll use some ChatGPT part that okay, hi, I'm just going to create a dating application where some random person can come in, and a boy can come or a girl can come, and if they just want, if they just type out their requirement that this is the kind of guy or this is the kind of girl that they are looking for to meet up or to just get settled permanently, then immediately the profiles can come into onto their part. Okay, so what that AI model will work on the part of that thing that this person needs this kind of person as their friend or as their girlfriend or as their marriage partner. So immediately they will just search into their dictionary. Okay, you can just take it term as a dictionary. Immediately they'll just check into their database. Okay, these are the people who are active in this particular area and matches with the requirements of this particular person. Like he should be good looking, he should be having a sports background, he should be having a good job, handsome looking. So or whatever the requirement the person has filled up, immediately the profiles will come up with that person, and you can just match with directly with that person. That kind of dating application is being built up by using this ethical AI part. When it comes to like foster the interdisciplinary collaboration, like the best AI solutions emerging into interactions are of domains, like work with doctors, designers, business leaders, and domain experts. Understanding their problem context is as important as the technical solution is to be there. Like said, let's say like for the business leaders are there. So let's suppose Nvidia. I think you all know about Nvidia. Okay, so let's say like if it's about Nvidia, then what we will be doing like Nvidia will be creating a chip. So Nvidia will be creating a chip on its own, and it will be how it's going to sell that chip according to the global market. So this scenarios will be able to will be identified by the interdisciplinary action of that particular AI part. means that AI model will help them that these are the particular countries that have a requirement for that particular chip, and you can just sell it on this particular markets because there is a requirement. So how this requirement has got generated? So these all these things are being done into the faster interdisciplinary collaboration. And when it comes to cultivating the creative resilience, so like AI projects fairly and regularly, models don't converge. Data proves the inadequate or business requirement shift. Resilience of creating a problem solving turn obstacles into learning opportunities. Let's say, for example, uh, I just need to sell about 100 pens in our market, but I do not know from where to purchase these pens and who are my ideal customers. Okay, so what I'll be using ChatGPT as a mode. I'll be asking like where I can borrow a ink pen that doesn't shreds ink, okay, but is good in looking. So immediately ChatGPT will let me know that this kind of pen is being formed into this particular shop in Delhi, and the potential customers, the how the potential customers it will identify. Means people are just writing or they are searching for these kind of pens into the database. If like some person is there, like Jeet is there, Jeet goes on the Google and identify and types that I'm just looking for this particular pen for which particular shop is there. So this kind of scenarios, they'll be just able to identify immediately with the help of that the data that has been inbuilt. Okay, and immediately it will give you a name that okay, this is the kind of persons that are looking right now for the pen, and you can just purchase from this particular shop, and you can just sell to this particular person in this particular area. So that kind of things are creating coming out of this creative resilience part. Okay, so let's go on to the other slide. So how AI works generally into how AI's career starts today. Like you need to build the foundation part, master the programming, the mathematics, and the core ML concepts through structured learning and practices. Then pursue the education, like choose the pathway that fits you with your situation. Either you are to go for a degree program or for the certification or self-directed learning. It's up to you. But totally depends upon your part, how you're going to create the projects that are helpful for a person to identify the abilities and the passion for solving the real world problems. Okay, let's suppose um, um, Twitter has launched Grok AI. Okay, so how Grok AI works? Grok AI was the result of a project-based scenario just to tackle the uh, um, misinformation campaign that was running on X by a lot of fake or uh, these spam accounts, okay, or the bot accounts they were using. So whenever a person is like posting something on Twitter, so immediately a person is coming, they are just taking Grok AI and asking that, hey Grok, please help me. Is it true that this person has been arrested, or this person real name is this? What is the real news? So immediately Grok AI will just use its database just to check for the algorithms for that particular news section, and will immediately let the person know, no, this news is not correct, it's a fake news, this person is peddling a fake news. So this kind of activities the Grok AI is using just to keep Twitter safe for people to view and to just to check the credibility of that particular news. So this kind of creative project you can just create after getting an AI engineer. Okay, and how a network and grow part is there. Like so, you can just connect with the AI professionals worldwide. You can attend their conference, and you can just stay connected with their rapidly evolving trends, because technology is a kind of thing where in each and every second while we are talking also, the technology is taking a rapid change, okay, from the present part to the future part. The technology are changing, and it is revolutionizing the world scenarios right now. So like since AI revolution is not going to wait, okay, neither should you. So see, every expert starts with as a beginner only. So even the breakthrough begins from curiosity. Whatever the curiosity that you are having today will get your career converted into a very successful AI engineer. So every successful career was built on one skill at a time. means the tools are available, the opportunities are vast, the future is being written right now. Whether you are a student, you are a career switcher, or you are a professional looking for to upskill, that has never been a better time to enter a world of AI. Then this is the right time. Okay, you just take the first step today, and we'll just help you out to secure your future. So this is how you can just build your career into the AI and ML part using CounterClock technologies pathway. Okay, so here we end our today's session, and we hope that this masterclass was really very much helpful for you. And so if you want to explore the resources, you can just let us know. Our helpline number are available. Our contact number is available. So you can just ping us, and we'll be sending you an email with all the requirements in the thing. And we hope that this masterclass was very much interactive and very much helpful for you just to grow into your artificial intelligence part. And so let me just brief you about the artificial intelligence course that we are having right now. So we are offering a 3 months artificial intelligence course, okay, for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So you are available. So how? Any questions, Jeet, so far? Partha,
Sir, can you
is
please explain about NLPs?
okay. Sure. Just a second. So see, NLP full form is a natural language processing. Okay, so how what is natural language processing? It's a field in the artificial intelligence, the AI part. Okay, that focuses on enabling the computers to understand your language. Okay, to interpret and generate the human language in a useful way. Like for example, nowadays, what is happening? Scientists are finding a way just to interact with the animals. So what the noise the animal is making, okay, like let's say for example, we have dogs, cats in our societies, okay, so they are going and they are trying to say something to us, but we are unable to understand their uh, voice, okay. But we can understand from their the way that they achieve, okay, they work, or they just make some movements, okay, either like if you just take an example of a dog. Our dog is barking, so how aggressively it is barking, then he's angry. And if it is not barking and he's just making some low voices, then the dog is like seeking happy, or is seeking attention. So this kind of thing comes into the natural language processing, NLP. Okay, so this is a way that humans are interacting with the computer and the computer are interacting with us. So you can just take an example of the chatbots and the virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa and the ChatGPT. Okay, like on Alexa, you are there. Okay, you are providing a voice command to Alexa that, hey Alexa, I just need to listen Michael Jackson songs. So immediately what Alexa is doing, like it is recognizing the voice from your voice that you have a requirement just to listen the Michael Jackson songs. So immediately Alexa will go into its Amazon database and will find for the Michael Jackson songs. And immediately it will say that, hi, Jeet, I'm just playing this particular song from Michael Jackson's album, and that is being presented by the Hangama Music or the Spotify or whatever the music platform it is associated with. So these kind of things they are providing. Okay, and for like say some language translation is there, like I'm communicating with Jeet in my regional language or in English, but Jeet is not able to understand English versions properly. So how you'll be able to understand, like when I'm just telling you in English, then automatically the AI will help you, the NLP part will help you out just to convert it from English to Hindi. Or you can just term it as an example, like whenever there is being a news media publication, okay, or any kind of see any of the state head, like you can just say for an example, Xi Jinping is of China, then Vladimir Putin is of Russia, Then Emmanuel Macron is the president of France. So how they are using the Emmanuel Macron will use the French language, Vladimir Putin will speak Russian, and Xi Jinping of China, the president of China, will speak in Mandarin. So immediately, whenever he is speaking, then the NLP model is using that particular words, and it is just translating into English, from Russian to English, from French to English, and from Mandarin to English. So this is the way that they are just translating their vocabulary from this particular language to the English part. Okay, so this is the kind of NLP works.